Hey everybody. Uh, this is kind of the start of a series on homework. And in this series, the idea is that the student tries to play a basic game. It's not about winning and losing, but just clear thinking. That's pretty hard to do. Um, Once they play this one game, and this is like do this once a week because it's difficult. So play the game. When they're done, they go back on their own and review the game and try to catch any basic mistakes. We're not talking about readouts and strategies, just basic mistakes. And once they catch it, they make a simple comment. Now, one thing that holds players back is that their thinking gets very complex. And so they can't even write down what they were thinking because it would take paragraphs. That's why we like it nice and neat and short. Then, after doing that, they bring it to me and we go through it, and I get to see their thinking and see what they missed, see if their thinking needs corrected. And I found over the years that it's a very useful tool in growing their game. So here we go. George was nice enough to do a homework, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. Two-stone game. George is black. And here we go. All good. Settle his group. Either way's fine. He went this way. They're both fine. This shows he's going to take the corner. And he did. Good. We all know the Joseki. No problems. And here, white tests us immediately. Which way's better? I don't have a clue. I see nothing to say it should be one way or the other. Comes up, which I would do because I like breaking the white stones. Seems the reasonable choice. And now, let me go back and see if you made a comment yet. We're on 1919. Black is behind enemy lines. So I think George is talking about this. Is that right, George?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's
So
something
he's
I only
saying,
noticed in review actually.
yeah. Now, if we take our straight edge, I would say that's true. On the other hand, there is no way for white to get around us in one move. That's
Mm,
really difficult, and
true.
black is thick there.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't call it urgent, but something I do all the time is in my head, I pass just as a method of saying, what's the worst thing I could face? And it would perhaps be this move. So can I still get out? Well, in these cases, we don't play this move because that's a please surround me move. Instead, we break and then we come in. And if he does some sort of Atari, we say Atari and we're now out. So that's the pattern. So if worst case happens, I'm still out. Okay.
I need to get over
Not to
the.
say that doesn't concern me.
I'm just saying that
What's it?
I have this habit of, if I see an Atari like that, especially early on in the game, I always think, oh, I must save that stone because Aponik is so huge.
Oh, yeah,
But I need to kind of let that slide a little. Yeah.
right. And that would be, yeah, our
And then there's a
corner could
problem.
die there.
Yeah.
And if we don't cut, it's just a horrible split.
Yeah.
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 Since I don't like white even starting to surround me, I'm sure I would start in my mind thinking of this move. And that certainly is a very strong, white is totally split and flattened. That looks great. Let's give white his Sente move and next move. Seems a little easy on white. I'm not sure. I guess attack next. I don't say it is particularly a positive direction for black. Could come out. That's a waste of time since we can already make that move anyway. So black plays here, which I think is likely best. Let's ask our questions. Since we're unsure what to do, let's go through the process. Question 1, are we okay? Our A group is alive. It can get to the center, side, corner, attack white. Our A group is extremely healthy. So black has no weak groups. Next we go to, is white okay? Well, we're looking at white's A group, but there's absolutely no way we can hurt it. It can go to the right, the left, the center. There's no way to surround it. Whatever we do, it's still probably going to get an eye. Not much attack. We can't attack the B stone because it has 3 options for health. So we're looking for big areas. Let's count all the big areas. And get in the habit of counting them all, because the one you don't count, because it's too small, it's often the biggest. May sound funny, but it happens most often. Area 4 is widest. The A stone likes the bottom, and the B stone likes the bottom. So it has width, and 2 entities like it. That's not true on the left. That's not true on the right. On the top, white can get a group there. No big deal. That leads me to the bottom. Does this sound good so far, George?
Yeah, the question I have is that on the left we have with white's Panuki.
Yeah.
Doesn't white want to extend far from his strength and build something perhaps on the left hand side?
First, I would not call it strength.
Okay.
A simple black move, what's white going to do?
Yeah.
Defend. If he takes the eye, he's got a 1-eye group that's running. So this is a flexible group that's hard to kill. So white can walk away. Now, if white plays this and then plays Sente to kill the corner and we stop that, okay. So now I can see maybe white can start developing.
Okay.
But at this point, just black's higher than white. The C stone is higher than the D stone, which makes building difficult because black just comes over the top. So I'm not seeing any of that.
And I guess in a
So
loose
this seems
sense, that Panuki is actually behind enemy lines, right?
in the grand scale of things, nothing that
Yeah.
has to do with surrounding. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this seems to say the bottom's bigger. Okay, so we just now saw why homework is valuable. George wasn't sure quite how to think about it. I wasn't sure how to think about it. Now, that's different from what I would play. That's different from what a pro would play. It's a matter of we hadn't thought it through well. When one thinks it through, oh, bottom's biggest. Great. Where does that leave us? Pretty much A or B. I prefer B because the C stone can start working with D. Black A can't work with anything. So it looks like C has more potential. Therefore, I would approach rather than play my A move. So
Okay.
that was a lot of thinking through, but that's how we get our minds changed. Go ahead, George.
Yeah. So the K16 stone. First of all, I guess we consider that a white stone rather than a white group because of the N16 stone is kind of badly damaged. So do we consider that more of a stone
Right.
rather than a group?
Yeah, it's just a stone, which we can imagine white giving up, although at the time he wouldn't want to, because that suggests black's going to get the entire top. So if we ask, since you can't give it up, is this our free profit? What are you going to do next? There's no serious attack.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got a small, uninteresting area in Gote. Yeah. Black would be falling behind immediately. Okay, so that leaves us here. And just to make it short, we'll have black play here and say, oh, black's doing well. Now, again, I would probably settle my stone, but back to the game. Are we all caught up, George?
Yes, that's clear. Thank you.
Okay. Your next comment is on 34, so we'll go forward here. I'm hoping you're going to go towards A next, where white's weakness is. Yeah, that's towards A. Notice the options white has. White can go AB. White can go, I want the center with AC. Lots of options, which we don't like white having since we're trying to attack white. If we play here, there's no Atari. White can't use this. And whatever white does, we can now make our choice rather than white's the one having the choice. So I think this is, we play this when we want to get something. I want points, I want health, I want something like this, because white gets his choice. And when we want to hurt white, don't get used.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay.
I guess I was thinking that I'm pretty strong in this area and have quite some stones as backup, so I thought that I could be
In
more
order
aggressive.
to fight, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And indeed, that is the case. And white's just got it easy here. So the fight didn't work out because you gave white the options. You created a weak stone and white took advantage of that. But look, you got something really positive here. Got a very solid position with points, which means nothing on this board.
But also, that's very over concentrated, right, for black?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not something you want.
Yeah.
While this is something white wants. And that's why the more we look at this, the more you see that white can do anything he wants here. Any Atari, any direction, what if he starts here? Is that gonna, and now you defend an Atari, and all of a sudden, how did that happen? White killed the top. It's just, yeah, there's so many options for white. Okay. And that's what happened. And you said, no, I will not let that happen. That's exactly what you should say. If you follow white here, you are so over concentrated, and
Yeah,
he's got a good
exactly.
group. So no matter what, I'd rather walk away than let this happen. Give white whatever he wants. I will not let this happen. Good.
Yeah, and of
And
course,
you did.
white has center moves against my corner, but my corner's strong, right? And
Yeah,
it's not going to suffer too badly.
right. And then the Atari for the Ko. Sure. Taking advantage of your fighting. You could also just play here. So there is no Ko, and white's not real interested in playing here. That's awfully slow, right? Well, I have to defend it, and I guess now I have to defend it again. So I think I'd rather play this move, but this is, you're kind of committing to win the Ko. And here, you don't care if you win the Ko. There is no Ko. But still, way better than submitting. Yeah.
But then I'm going to take the Ko first, right? So I can always ignore the Ko threat. So
True.
that's
This is true. I would not say that we found a good road for black, because you're now filling and white gets the corner. That's a pretty big loss, which gets us back to this is better. Okay, so you kind of have to do this. Okay. Notice white can go this way also.
Okay.
And white can even cut here. And
I actually felt very happy here. Because, yeah, I mean, of course, white's got the corner, but there's still plenty of RG in my stones, the D17 stones. And my kind of top right hand corner is getting pretty large.
okay, let's go through that. First, we notice you've strengthened the A group, which doesn't need strengthening. Now, you have demolished white's top group, and you've gotten a lot of points, which is area 1. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 20, plus some stuff around there, 25-ish. And white has gained 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So you've netted about 10 points.
And also, I think the R14 stone is pretty weak now, right?
Not a lot of change there, but
okay.
There wasn't much counter. So it's not great, but it is consistent, positive, and you have Sente. So I like that you went in this direction. You made a stand, you went there, you did it well. But still, this is better.
Yeah, sure.
You don't lose the corner. White is still weak. White can't do anything. So this is significantly better, but what you did does make sense. Once you're on the road, this is what I would play too.
I realize this is almost certainly a mistake, because I'm so strong in that area of the board that white, of course, is not going to extend up at Q14. So I think that a move around K10 to attack on a bigger scale makes much more sense.
Right. And for the observers, if we see that the A group is exceptionally strong, the idea of taking the corner in Gote, we can say is absurd, like it's this move. If your A group is exceptionally strong, then adding a move to it is a real waste of time. Now, this does take the corner and does attack, but you just don't need any stones here at all. You'd much rather, let's give white life in the corner, even though he's not necessarily do it. Give white life. This is way better for black. Use your thickness on the outside. Okay, so here, we are so happy now, because if white plays here, we can just take B18 off the board. Complete wasted move.
Yeah.
Because if he plays here, the corner's dead. If he plays B18, the corner's dead. So this is a real waste of time, and you ignored and came out. Good. And I like the placement. Yeah. Now, even if white responds, is going to have a real hard time there. Good. So anything we lost, we've gained back. Yeah. Let's see. 34, we did that. Next one's 48. Okay. I'm curious where you played next. It's really easy to say, for me to say, oh, I would play here next. But that doesn't mean a lot. Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean I thought through it well. And the observer goes, so we played there. What's that mean to some 3Q that's watching that a 6 Don played there? doesn't mean a lot. But if we think through it, then the 3Q can go, oh, I see the thinking. And then next game, they can do something about that. So since I'm at a loss here, I'm going to go through it. House Black. There's two things in question. Well, let's go through them. Is the A group okay? Oh, yeah. The A group's going to kill anything it wants to kill. There's no, A group's not a question. B group, not a group. I'm sorry. That B group will never take points, will never attack. All it can do is try to find a home somewhere. What a waste of stones. Give them up. We are going to give them up, not a group. And the third one is C, which is perfectly fine. No danger at all. Okay, so we won't be defending. Sound good so far, George?
Yes, all good. Yeah.
Attacking. Attack the A stones. First of all, they're not a group. And yeah, they're locally, something might happen, but it's not an important area, and they're not a group, and it's just uninteresting. The B, not a group. White already decided, I don't want that stone. That's what his last move says. I don't want the B stone. Even if I bring it into motion, it's going to be a burden. I agree. Not a group. I don't want to go kill it. So everyone's fine. There are plenty of stones in danger, but they're not important stones. So what's big? Bottom. Now, something I showed everyone in a video, but let's look at it again here. White needs to capture the cutting stone, because if he doesn't, he's got two weak groups. Good so far, George?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now we're going to do that again with the black stone here. Do you remember this, George?
I do, yes, yeah.
Now, instead of saving our cut, this time we're going to play here. If black tries to kill us, because we're no longer alive in the corner, we threaten the snapback, threaten to kill the group. White dies first. White still dies first. White still dies first. Now, if black tries to live, black dies first. So, black threatens the eye. White keeps the eye. Now, black's going to die first. Black only has 3 liberties. Black lives in Sente, because white has to come back and live. So black still lives in the corner, but gets a wonderful outside, all in Sente. So I love that trick. Therefore, what white is supposed to do over here is to play this move. Black needs to live, then white captures, although it's not exact. There's a way out here, but it's difficult and not fruitful. But it's a burden for white. So it's a thorn in the flesh that white has to keep an eye on and make sure, eventually add another stone, and this is all very positive for black. Okay, so all that being said, I couldn't help myself but to play here. And if white says, I'm taking the corner, well, first, it's not exactly all white's corner, and it's a gote slow move, and I'll go do something else I like. So I would probably play there, but there's a lot of good moves. Let's see what you did. Whoa. That's cute. Black says, ooh, area 1 is huge and it's all mine. It's like, yeah. Whites can live in there almost comfortably. There's a lot of room in there with a lot of gaps. and black's going to get some outside thickness, but white's already there. This is a long shot. It's not on the list. It's fun. It's interesting. And you'll find most exceptional moves don't follow basic thinking. They're looking at a lot of reading, a lot of creativity. And so this might be a 10-don move, but it's certainly not on the list.
It's funny
Makes
because
sense?
I mean, I've been really trying to think my moves through, of course, but this one just came to me so naturally, and I just could not help
Yeah.
myself.
Very pretty move. I mean, it's beautiful looking, and it certainly puts white on the test. Okay. 30, 40, 8's the next one. White, black. Now notice right away, if white submits here, your area looks awfully sorry, I'm on the wrong button. Still on the wrong button. There we go. Your area is 3 lines wide.
Mm.
That's a lot of work for just a narrow little area, and white gets sente. That's immediately punished. Because you already had area 1, you already had area 2,
True,
you're just
true.
picking up this little, and white didn't want the 4 stone anyway. Please take it, and you did in a narrow area.
Mm.
And it's going to be worse because white also gets endgame. Look how small that is. It's pitifully
Yeah.
small. Luckily, white doesn't. And now we can do some fighting. We could spend hours on this fight. I would say my overall goal, I don't want the A stone. Then what do I want? Well, if I can kill the B stones, at least I've got a base and I've got something else. But really, if I can, bothering the C stone is my main goal here. Because if I bother the C stone, then that corner's not his. And again, I don't want that A area. It's too narrow. So I would drop down. We're talking about without any reading. What's he going to play here? Well, I'll do this once just because now he's got to do something. So he'll play here. Great. And maybe I'll just save, forcing him to kill, and then come this way. And now, wow, this actually puts quite a burden on white. If white drops down, that's not his area, right? This is still alive. What's he going to do? Play here? That's ridiculous. He can't play there. If he comes out, he's still behind enemy. This is hard for white. Maybe white's forced into this sort of thing, and then black's, again, doing really big things on the bottom. So we're in a really tough situation here. Very hard to find a clear path. Yeah. And you finish it up. This is important. If you don't finish it up, you're going to wish you had. Okay.
But so Lance, now I mean, again, I was very happy because I felt like I guess here all my moves kind of come together, don't they? So the moves that I played earlier that perhaps
Yes.
were mistakes, they make more sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this reminds me so often in all the years I took lessons, I go, it all worked out exactly as I wanted. And then I realized that was a really bad thing to want. So let's check it out. We know he's got the monkey jump anytime he wants. And so if we ask, again, you already had area 1, you already had area 2, so all your stones for area 3 is approximately 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, let's say 30 points. And white got area A and B and sente. So white got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20, and cente, it's a net loss. Assuming white's next move is about 10 points, it makes it about equal. So no loss. I mean, no gain. And maybe a loss. Because we gave white so much to get. We already had the corner, we already had area 2. So it's only a bigger area 3, which is, a good 30 points. But we gave white 20.
Yeah.
At least it might be a little better for black than I'm saying, but not a lot better. Okay. From white's perspective, and black's central wall is looming over the bottom, I'd get to the bottom as quick as I could. White plays there.
Yeah, it's very
Talk about not looking at the board. A small area. Well, he's getting the stones to live and taking it 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 20 points. If he adds another move, so 10 plus 10. Yeah.
So I had a question there, Lance. So if you go back one move, so Lance, so white is basically saying, I want that corner. So could we say, okay, could we give it to him by playing the G14 move, and then helping our weak large knights move there. But my thought is, I guess, that it gives white a chance to realize his mistake, and then to nuke and play on the bottom.
Yeah. So let's catch up here. Let's start by looking at white's area. So white wants that area. Well, that means this is cente. And we'll put it here, allowing, because if we play the shoulder hit here, white can't take it. So let's give it to white by playing here. And now we look, how big was it, what white did? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14. In Gote, really small. So if he adds another move, so we go do whatever, and he says, aha, I have more. He's taking it to 16. It's just pitifully small. Yeah. So just walk away.
Sure.
Yeah. Do the end game later. Again, you want him to take that end game because it's so small. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Good place to stop. The viewers have seen the thought process. Now they've seen it before, but in a homework setting where, and hopefully they see the value of play a game where every single move, you try to go through the 3 questions. It's all about the list. And you try to think clearly. And that's how your game's going to get better, is if you think clearly. And then make the comments. So it's like, okay, here's the thing. So all your thoughts are right in front of you. And here comes the teacher going, that was an incorrect thought. You get to change the way you see the game. Or that was all correct. Great. And here's a better way of doing that same thing. Great. It's all such excellent information. You can see I get all excited about this. So hopefully they see the value of homework and all like that. Okay. Thanks, George. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Lance. See you soon.
And we'll see all you viewers another time. Bye.
Bye-bye.